It wasn't that long ago when you had to pay sales tax buying gold, and that would have really sucked. And to be fair, it would suck if it was brought back in. It would have irrevocable damage and implications on the gold markets here in the United Kingdom. Is it something that's likely though? Well, unlikely, but it's certainly something I can see happening because the government is in dire need of this. Maybe not this £50 note exactly, but cash, money, taxes. I'm afraid those are things that make the world go round, and maybe gold, certainly silver is right now, but maybe gold will be in the targets of the government. Let's have a good old precious metal ramble about sales tax on gold. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome to another precious metal ramble where we shoot the breeze about all things precious and shiny. Now, you'll have to excuse the rather elaborate setup that we've got here with a bunch of £50 notes. That is for a video coming out this weekend. If you want to know more about that, then subscribe. It's a good one and I'm very proud of it and it's going to be fun. But in today's video, I want to talk about the potential for the UK government to slap VAT or sales tax on gold. What implications would that have for the gold markets here in the UK, for us stackers, for investors, for businesses, and for the wider picture, because places like the Royal Mint will struggle and it would be a bit of a disaster. But it's not out of the realm of possibility that it could happen. We have had gold taxed with sales tax not that long ago. It was, I think, the year 1999 or 1998, sometime like that, when sales tax was removed. But before that, there was VAT, 20%, or it might have been 17.5% at the time, but there was VAT on gold, and it sucked, and it changed the industry when it went away. And I can foresee a possibility that at some point that tax might come back. So I want to make it abundantly clear that I am not predicting that is going to happen. And I think that if it does, there are so many unknowns that we're going to pose questions of today. I don't know what would happen, truly, but we're going to hypothesize some of those things. So bear in mind that these are hypotheses. These are things to think about and questions to ask if that happens. I hope it doesn't happen because, like I say, I think it's going to be pretty bad. But if it does happen, it's going to be pretty good to hold gold before that happens. So with that all said, we're going to dive in and have a good old ramble about it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section about this whole topic, because we know what's happened with it on silver. We know what happened post-Brexit when the UK was no longer able to get VAT-free silver from Europe. Premiums on silver went up and they've stayed relatively high above spot price for just buying bullion silver. Could the same happen for gold? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, then make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. It would be very helpful to do that as we march on towards that mythical 100,000 subscribers one day. That would be lovely. So the question is, will sales tax come on gold? Now, for those that don't know, in the UK, we have to pay sales tax at 20% currently. Oof, that's a big markup on silver and bullion. Now, you don't have to pay it on every purchase, only purchases that you buy from a VAT registered business. So if you're buying stuff on the secondhand market from the Silver Forum, then you don't pay VAT on it. And often that premium that's on there is kind of a replacement mechanism for the 20% VAT. So that's why you don't often see spot price silver being put up for sale on the secondhand market, because it means there is a premium to it and people will be able to buy it, but they'll also be able to sell it at that price. So if somebody buys, spot price right now is going crazy, I know, but if it's like £26 an ounce, £27 an ounce, somebody who's paying £30 for these Britannias, they'll be able to sell them for £30. Buying them brand new from a dealer though, they'll be paying the dealer's premium on top and then VAT on top of that as well. And you'll be paying close to probably £40 for your Britannias from somewhere like the Royal Mint. So it sucks. Could the same happen to gold? Well, without diving too much into politics, because I'm not really one for making this a political channel, but we can say that the current government here in the United Kingdom is going to be doing as much of a tax grab as they possibly can at the end of this month. So the 31st of October is going to be a bit of a watershed day for us in the United Kingdom. We're going to have what's called the budget, and that's going to then tell us what taxes are going up, how they're going up, and when they're going to start going up as well. I don't think that they're going to put VAT on gold, but I will concede that it is a possibility. My concern if they do put VAT on gold is that it will destroy the collecting investing market in the UK will become completely useless and uncompetitive. Places like the Royal Mint will have to charge VAT on gold, and if you think about an ounce of gold right now at 2,100 plus the premium 2,200, let's call it, and then you put VAT on top of that, suddenly you're having to pay 2,800 an ounce for gold. That's not going to happen. People are not going to be paying that because, like with silver, you'd be underwater immediately and you just won't be able to get that money back for a very long time. Will there still be people that buy it? Yeah, probably. Would they be better off putting their money in other things? 100% they would. And that's the same as I have always said for silver versus gold right now, because if you have the choice right now, the logical thing is to buy gold, certainly when confronted with buying silver from, say, a dealer. But if you can buy silver on the second-hand market, then your quid's in. It's fairly good. So will it happen? I don't know. I don't think so. There are more likely avenues to kind of affect the bullion market in terms of cash grabs, and that comes along with things like capital gains taxes, maybe even things like chattel exemptions. So for those that perhaps don't know the inner workings of the tax laws here in the United Kingdom, technically speaking, there are these things called chattels, where if an item is a tangible, movable object and it has a value less than £6,000, then it is deemed to be a personal possession and therefore tax exempt when you sell it on the profits. There's some questions. You have to really kind of take some actual advice from people who know this tax law better than me, and I'm not a tax advisor, as to what is defined as a chattel. But from my understanding and the advice that I've received, a silver bar like that is a chattel. But currency is not. So a Britannia, for example, is not. Currency is specifically mentioned as an exempted thing in the chattels exemption list. So you can't do it for that. Old currency from different countries that are now no longer currencies, you could theoretically have that. Will the chattel exemptions disappear? Perhaps, maybe. If the VAT happens for gold, that will be a big watershed moment. Now, what will that in practice mean for the gold markets? Or for the gold that you currently have? That's what I think is most interesting. So we have a reference point in the form of silver and Brexit. So before we left the European Union, we were able to buy anything from any European country and have it sent to the UK without any import taxes and what they're called, duties and things like that. Nothing. You just paid for extra bit in shipping because it would probably cost a bit more to send it internationally, but you would save so much. And that's how our channel grew to where it was now, because we did these big European group orders where we would buy collectively £50,000 worth or more worth of silver. And then I would unbox it and I'd drop ship it out to everybody who joined in. And people would save hundreds of pounds on their gold and silver purchases. But that changed after Brexit. And now the avenues at which silver is available VAT-free from European countries has been closed completely. All those countries that had those exemptions now do not, which means that if you're in Germany, say, or if you're in Estonia, you can't get the silver at the same price. And what happened? The premiums went up. It didn't completely destroy the market. People still want to buy. But I think that's partly because silver is cheaper. Now, it's easier and cheaper to buy a few ounces of silver with a bit of VAT on it than it is to buy a gold ounce, for example, with VAT on it. If you bought a gold ounce with VAT on it, that would be a huge whack. So I think if VAT is suddenly imposed on gold, what we'll see overnight is that the dealers out there would have to charge VAT on it, which means that an ounce of gold would suddenly be recalculated at nearly £2,600, £700. That means that if you're a seller of gold, you could theoretically undercut the markets. You could meet halfway, let's call it. You could ask $2,400 for your gold coin, because it means that if anyone out there wanted to buy a gold coin and they're confronted with the chance or the opportunity to buy from Dealer X at 2,800 or Joe Blogs on the Silver Forum at 2,400, I know for one which one I would buy. But then that still feels bad because you're paying a massive premium on your gold and you still have to wait. But then it'll find its happy medium. It will, just how silver has over the last couple of years since the Brexit situation. And now I'm seeing regularly, and through my buyers club, we'll see regularly people selling silver for £3 or £4 over spot price, and they'll be able to buy it at that, sell it at that really quick, super easy. It's the whole premise of my buyers club, that we can link up the buyers and sellers at decent prices. So I think that if gold had VAT reimposed on it, it would equalize out, and it'd be very beneficial for those people who hold the gold in their current stack. But I think it would destroy the UK bullion investing market. And I don't think that would be a net gain for the government. Yes, they would raise some taxes and they'd raise some additional bits for the coffers, but it would destroy the market. They would not have all of these different businesses that would be as big as they are. The big dealers out there would inevitably have to trim down. Some of them would go out of business. The Royal Mint wouldn't sell as much, and therefore the tax gains that the Royal Mint would give in corporation tax and these other companies, bullion dealers, they wouldn't be able to hire people. They wouldn't be able to hire people who then earn money who pay taxes. Got to think about these trickle-down economics and how that would affect things. And quite honestly, it would just be a right mess and a nightmare. How would you police it? How would you actually enforce these things on individuals? It would be an absolute nightmare. It really would. So I don't think it's likely, but I'm also not naive enough to say that it could not happen. If it does happen and you own gold, it'll be a good net result in a way, but it will mean that buying more gold is going to be pretty hard. And it's probably going to be a bit crap to sell your gold to a dealer, because the dealers will still pay spot price for it, because they don't need to charge the VAT when, well, they don't need you, sorry, you don't need to charge the VAT when you sell it to a dealer. It's just sold at spot. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a mess if it happens. Now, I just want to re-clarify that this is a thought experiment. There is no reason to expect this to happen at this point, and I don't want people to rush out thinking that overnight they can buy some gold and it will go up in value by 20% because the government's going to slap VAT on it. That is not something that I would recommend. It's just a case of, if something like that happens, you've just got to be slow and steady winning the race. That's what it's all about. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on this subject down in the comment section. It'd be great to hear what you've got to say. And if you like the smorgasbord worth of gold and silver out here, here's a little sort of insight for the Cool Kids Club members. We cashed in a bunch of loose change, had a jar of coins, and that is going to, well, it wasn't a jar anymore because I broke the jar, but I have a whole bunch of cash that I changed up, and let me tell you, the difference between how much gold and silver you could have had compared with cash over a 10-15 year period is absolutely mind-breakingly boggling. I am not even joking. It's really stark. It's opened my eyes. I'm so scared of cash now. It really is. I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but bloody hell, the amount to which this is devalued is crazy, and that's going to be demonstrated in a video this Sunday. So if you're not subscribed and you want to find out what that ramble was all about, then make sure you subscribe, because it's a good one. Although, quite frankly, I've put a lot of effort into that video and I think it's probably going to bomb. That's what happens on YouTube, and no doubt this video will get 10,000 views. But hey, you know, that's the life of a YouTuber. That's the gamble that you take with YouTubering. If that's a word, it is now. Anyway, that's it from me. We need something for the Cool Kids Club to quote down in the comment section. Let's do a serial number on a banknote, shall we? In fact, there is a King Charles one. There we go. King Charles serial number. Here we go. You can quote this to be in the Cool Kids Club. Oh, it's a cool one as well. AJ37 222271. If you quote that, then you are super extra cool. That's all I've got to say. Thanks very much. We'll see you on the next video. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.